Critics of Jessa Duggar and Ben Seewald are wondering, where are they going to put it as they get ready to welcome their sixth child into the world? Fans of the former Counting On pair are starting to question whether it's even feasible for them to have another child given the limited room they already have to work with, thanks to all the house tours that Ben and Jessa have posted online. A Reddit user wondered where Ben and Jessa would possibly find space for their new baby, asking, where are they going to put all these kids? Can Jessa forget the overwhelming crowds and nonstop noise? Those that reproduce mindlessly for the sake of population growth are completely self-centered. Everyone who commented appeared to have the same opinion. I feel strongly about responsible room sharing between siblings, but it's absolutely horrifying to have 6 kids spread out over 2 rooms. A second reviewer said, time to grow up, Ben, implying that the family should likely start making relocation plans shortly. Find a legitimate job and provide a decent home for your family. Upon moving into their home in 2022, Jessa and Ben uploaded a comprehensive house tour to their YouTube account. They also kept followers updated on the home's progress as they renovated it. Their home appears to include 4 bedrooms, the master suite, where Ben and Jessa spend the night, 2 additional bedrooms, and a 4th that Jessa has turned into a homeschooling classroom. Even before last month's revelation that her youngest kid, George, who is 1 year old, sleeps in a pack and play put up in her bedroom closet, Jessa took a lot of heat from critics. Perhaps he will join his older brothers Spurgeon and Henry in their shared room before the baby is born. He hasn't done so yet. For the first few weeks and perhaps months, many babies sleep in a bassinet in their parents' room. Ben and Jessa have plenty of time to figure out the practicalities if they haven't already. It appears that George will be joining the older kids in living in the main house at some point, and the fate of the new baby, when they are old enough to leave mom and dad's chamber, will be determined by their gender. The Duggar dilemma refers to the uncertainty around the arrival of a new Duggar child and the specific location for that small human within the expansive Duggar compound. Okay, but where TF is this kid going to go in your house? Critics from social media scrollers to tabloids are collectively shrieking in response to the recent and predicted, yet still somehow surprising announcement that Ben and Jessa Duggar are expecting child number 6. Primers on the Duggar domain. For many years, Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar and their 10 children have called their enormous Arkansas home. There are still limitations to the amount of space that may be used, even with the addition of dens, nurseries, home offices, and the notorious My Little Duggars fan room. A crib, some sheets, a dresser drawer, or in earlier years, an amazing set of bunk beds have been provided to every Duggar child. But slapping 6 children? This begs the questions of location and when one should sleep. 2. The unveiling of potential new rooms. Repurposing an existing guest suite. Giving up guest rooms might be the easiest option. It would be possible to completely transform one of the guest/bonus rooms into a fanciful nursery or toddler room by painting it pastel and rearranging the furniture. The jury is still out on whether Ben and Jessa have started eyeing that spot, but they're thinking fluffy pillows, a little bookcase, and a fuzzy floor slide. Comparing siblings, love or practicality? Sharing living quarters, and even mattresses, has long been a part of the Duggar family's aesthetic philosophy. Perhaps this latest addition will share a dorm with its brothers. The practice of bunking children according to age and gender is common in large households. For example, May, who is 2 years old, would have to share a bedroom with her brother, who is 4 years old. The critics are predicting a little shuffle. The newbie will be put into the existing room while one of the kids gets moved to another shared one. The result is exhaustion for moms and lots of fighting between siblings, or, depending on your perspective, wonderful bonding. Nursery in the laundry room? Perhaps the Duggars will transform a mudroom or closet, according to a more extreme theory. A less blatant, creative solution might be to transform it into a mini retreat complete with sensory cushions and bespoke storage system. This is a favorite among critics. The baby is sleeping in the closet, y'all. Conversion of an outbuilding. Were you able to turn your carport into a nursery? A real Duggar show. Perhaps the family has a shed or other outdoor structure that might be furnished with nursery essentials. Surgically, out of sight, it provides an answer to the spatial query. Criticism is keeping an eye on parking statistics. Big renovation on the way. Jim has adding on is more of a promise than a jest when Bob says it, according to his opponents. Maybe plans have been drawn up for an additional wing, bathroom, and hallway, with built-in cribs included. If that occurs, the problem of sleeping will be resolved in a big Duggar manner. The third eye. What critics see but don't say. Practicality versus beauty. The idea that the baby can make use of the spare room in the laundry area has been floated around. They call it a concrete floor nursery W/dryer lullabies and make fun of it. But when you're part of a family of 14, you quickly realize that practicality, can it fit, contain, maintain quiet hours, is more important than style. Parental distress and classroom management. Put them in the spare room isn't going to cut it when you have 6 children. Every night, it's a new puzzle. Getting kids to bed on time, keeping them from throwing fits, and getting them to share. Critics argue that 15 minutes before bedtime, you're still freaking out over matching pajamas and who's hogging the blanket. An unrealized ideal of perfect parenting. Think of a troll saying, "They're clearly not providing this child with a room. They simply allowed him to sleep in the laundry basket." Those who are critical are looking for the "these people aren't perfect" moment, the flaws. That's the conflict that arises when you compare the real world to the flawless Duggar brand. 4. A method by Duggar. Combining magic with planning. Looking past the fake smiles, we can see what Ben and Jessa might be up to. Need-based zoning. Every member of the family has their own designated space in the house. The parents go to one wing, the toddlers to the sunroom in the afternoon, and the teens to the loft. There is a pattern at stage 6. Sounds that wake you up don't reverberate off of glass, and sounds that make you sleep don't float over rooms. The new addition will take up residence in the youngest zone, which may not be an entire room but will definitely have its own specific spot. More common than you might think. The closet nursery. Parents with common sense know that babies don't care. A spacious closet has more than enough space for a fluffy rug, a bassinet for use at night, and adequate illumination. It's quiet, it's private, and plus, you won't have to trip over the hallway to yell PSSST when they wake up. Sharing via rotation. Consider rotating naps at a daycare. They'll adjust. No naps in the middle of the day. No sleep at night? Perhaps move from one bed to another. "Wow, I can crash wherever," is a great way to teach kids to be flexible. While some may see it as neglect, fans refer to it as a grounded childhood. Long-term renovating. It could be the Duggar Jr. era. A nursery is more of a temporary measure than an answer if an extension is in the works. Instagram users will be the ones to decipher clues regarding cement mixers, wallpaper, and plumbing jobs. 5. The bigger picture. The importance. This seemingly insignificant detail, where the baby sleeps, has attracted reviewers. Reason being, is their flawlessness sufficient? In a real-world setting, how does a family expand beyond 10 children? Comparing public expectation with real life at home. Virtues of family, large families, and internet sensationalism have been the Duggar brand's linchpins. Real life, with its cramped passageways and overcrowding of siblings, will put the projection to the test. Conflict of cultures. They need a bigger home to have 5 more kids, will be the snide comment made by modern minimalists. Simplify, wouldn't you agree? A lot of people are trying to paint it as expanding for expanding's sake, a greedy move. The concept of proximity. Despite all the flash, the question remains relevant. Many families manage to keep their developing children in cramped apartments. Millions of people can relate to the "where does a baby sleep" discussion. 6. Last thoughts. The playroom closet nursery for TF the 6th child. In an ideal world, it would be enchantingly tidy, soundproof, and full of cuteness. Some have questioned the placement of the toddler in the broom closet. Here we have the Duggar Dodge. Classic converted guest room. Crib, nightlight, crib mobile, you've seen them all. Even the parents' beloved Dean Martin poster ends up in the guest room. Sleeping area for multiple people, a foldable screen, portable bassinet, or room divider would be more functional. Skeptics. They're taking shortcuts once more. Added something new that no one is aware of. Ultimate the Duggar Flex is a strategy for extending the duration of the new addition. Some may say they're trying to hide something by designing a mansion wing. 7. The room down below. Space can be malleable in the end. Couches, bonanza bunkers, doors, joy and mayhem. That's just how families with 6 or more kids roll. More important than where is, how are they managing though? Hollywood loves a good drama. Whether it's a baby in a coat closet, siblings sharing a bed, or a pregnant woman doing her own repairs. Looking for crevices in the veneer, they sniff. We make space for love. The Duggars may say simply, this infant will also find a place to call home.